Hey, Jamie. Thanks for joining. I have your Stampin' Up order, by the way, Jamie. I'll get it to you soon. Hi, Donna. Good morning, Diane. I'm just trying to do a little copy and paste in here. Bear with me. Come on. That's not what I wanted. Good morning. Hi, Janice. Hi, Brina. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Let's see if I can paste this in the thing. Let's see. Won't let me pin it. Okay. I just posted the whole description into the video. Good morning, Sona. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hi, Marilyn. Thank you guys for the shares. I appreciate that. From North Carolina. Let's see if I can get this to go live again. Oops, there we go. Come on. Thank you for the shares. Yeah, so here's the thing. If you share and you type shared with a D, S-H-A-R-E-D, I will give you a second entry into the DSP. So I'm going to just show you guys first. These are the couple cards. This is the one I didn't show yet. Finally found me. Hi, Pat. Thank you. So if you share this and type shared, it will give you a second entry into winning the DSP. So I'm going to show you guys basically this. I'm going to try to make this the same about format. I usually go about 45 minutes to an hour. So leave a comment to be entered. If you leave a second comment with shared, S-H-A-R-E-D, you will be entered to win again. So I'm going to just kind of give you a preview of what we're doing. So I have all of the DSP, and what I did also is I'm going to show you the ink that goes with it, and I'm going to show you the individual DSPs. So I have pieces cut off of each. So I have 2 4 by 5 1/4 of each sheet, and then this little extra strip. So whoever wins will win all of these. So all of the 2 sheets and the strip from every single pack that I've cut up. Except I didn't cut up the stacks, so you have to forgive me for those. I'm still being a little greedy with those as of thus far, but if I feel super generous, what I'll do is I will add those in too. So, if anyone has any questions, I do want to show you one thing, if I can get it to pop up real quick. I wanted to show you guys, let's see if I can get this to pop on here. I wanted to show you this new video in case you couldn't figure it out. So this is the card I did last week with my little helper stamper niece. So we did this one last week, if you guys remember. And then this is the one that I showed the other day, which had that touch button. Pick me, pick me. This had the touch button that you could see the inside of it and went through the video. And I have another video for this, but I didn't post it yet, because I wanted to show you guys just in case you couldn't figure this out. So give me one sec. I just want to be able to pull this up, and I'm going to show you kind of how it works. Now, one thing about this is just kind of something new that I added. And essentially, it's just like a quick peek at how to make a card, but without any sound. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing videos. It just means that this is like kind of a little extra bonus. But the only thing is you can only use these on mobile. So you can only do this on your phone. I don't even believe it works on iPads. Definitely doesn't work on computers. But what you do is you would find the post, which is here. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to hold. Oh, whoopsie. Come on, it's not working. Let's see. Where did I go? Here. You just hold it. And then what happens, and you don't really have to touch it anywhere specifically, but you do have to touch it. So you have to have a phone that has a touch screen. Okay? So what you do is you touch it. And we put the touch kind of in the bottom. Hold on. It does take a few seconds to load, as you can see. I put the touch in the bottom so your finger would be out of the way. But basically, you can kind of touch. And then what it does is it goes through all the steps with you, as long as you keep your finger there. So if you stop, it stops. So you just find a spot and touch. And then it'll go through the steps. So then you ink it up, you stamp it. You get your Versamark out, stamp it, heat emboss, take your sponge, highlight it, punch it out, which I thought this was really cool. And you can do this. This is a new program with up to 30 photos and then adding the DSP. So it's, again, it's just kind of like an extra little cutesy thing that I added because I thought it was fun. And it was pretty easy to take just still photographs while you're making a card. And then as long as you keep your finger on it, it will run through 2 times. And then that's it. Then you'd have to touch it again. So then it shows you the inside, the outside, and then it starts again. But again, this only works for mobile. Okay, now I am going to probably have a different picture when I do the second one. But again, it will have the little fingerprint there, so you just touch it and hold. It does take a few seconds to run. As you can see, I have fingerprints all over mine. But that's how it works. So just in case, I know this was a little confusing to some people. And again, if you're watching this on your computer, it won't work. But I did put the actual photos on here. So if you're watching on a computer and you couldn't see them, this is the outside and the inside of the card. Okay, so that probably was also a little confusing because some people couldn't tell, were you supposed to touch this, or were you supposed to touch that, or whatever the case may be. So I just wanted to go through and just give you a little explanation for that, okay? So let me get back here so I can see your comments, and we will get started with this fun thing. So once again, I want to just tell you, in case you missed it, that right now with Stampin' Up, they are having a special. I should have, of course, brought this up, but like a ding-a-ling, I didn't. So let me just log in here real quick, and I want to see exactly what the papers are. So they do have buy 3, get 1 free designer series paper, and that is July 1st through the 31st. And I want to tell you, it is for Nature's Poem, Twinkle Twinkle, Under the Mistletoe, Animal Expedition, Best Route, Petal Promenade, Tranquil Textures, Garden Impressions, Tropical Escape, this one, and Wood Textures, okay? So they are all buy 3, get 1 free. So that runs through the 31st. Again, that is pinned on the top of the page here. In case you missed what I just said, I do have a little post here that tells you they're buy 3, get 1 free. Okay, and it does tell you which papers. So all you have to do is log on to Rachthestamper. You can find that information out. Also, they're having a special if you sign up as a demonstrator. In addition to getting to pick 125 for $99, there's no shipping cost. You don't have to sell anything ever. And if you decide not to be a demo and you drop, you don't have to give it back. You just keep it. But you also are able to pick a color collection of ink. And once again, this is also on the page. Okay, so do you have a long wish list is where it would be. You get to pick 1 entire set of ink colors. So you get either all of the in colors, okay, so all of those, or you can pick all the bright pads, all the neutral pads, all the regal pads, or all the subtle pads. You get to pick that. That's about another $75 value. So if you're someone who's new and maybe you're trying to kind of get yourself started, hey Cindy, thanks for joining. If you're trying to get yourself started, this is a great way to get some ink pads, and again, with no obligation, because you don't have to buy anything after that. If you change your mind, you decide you just wanted to get it for the discount. You can also then get all of your other purchases as long as you maintain your demonstratorship at a discount as well. So starting at 20%. So that's a pretty awesome deal right now. And I just want to make sure if there's one more thing, I feel like I missed one thing, and then I want to show you this paper. I promise I'm not trying to stall. I just want to make sure that I tell you everything. Oh, and then there is also another awesome bundle coming up called Color Your Season. And it is a stamp set and a die set. So you can buy them just the stamp set in clear wood, or just the die, or you can get them as a bundle. But they're also bringing out a whole new set of watercolor pencils. So these will start for customers August 1st, but if you're a demonstrator, you can pre-order now. So I did do a pre-order for that, so as soon as they come in, I will let you know when they come in. And I cannot, oh, it's an awesome deal, isn't it? I know, I wish I could join again, honestly. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I said that last year too, that I wish I could join again when they did like the paper snips, but a whole ink pad collection is like way better than that. So, all right, so without further ado, let me just make sure my comments are all caught up here, and I'm going to show you guys all the DSP. The resist greeting with the punch. I know, wasn't that a cool idea? You know what, Donna? A lot of times what I'll do is if I'm stumped for an idea, and I have another thing to tell you as well. If I'm stumped for an idea, I kind of just look in the catalog. So I was looking at this, and I thought, how in the world did they do that? Now, I don't know if that's how they did it or not, but I thought it would be just as simple to just emboss it in white on white and then go over it with the pink. Or you probably could have done it on the pink with the white embossing powder, but I wasn't sure how crisp it would be, so I went the other way. So you probably could do it either way, but I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so once again, if you leave a comment and you leave shared, you'll be entered twice. I'm going to show you guys all the Designer Series paper. And I want you to know one other thing in case this video gets to be a little long or you can't stay around or whatever the case may be. I did, ahead of time, go through and do mini videos that we'll be posting onto here, Facebook, and YouTube at 10 o'clock and like 10:15, all day today, like at 10. But they'll all be listed. And I did a short video on each of these. So Petal Promenade has its own video. And it has a link if you want to purchase. It also has descriptions and everything. So I tried to do these really as in-depth as I could because I know you guys said that you really loved these, but you couldn't tell what was what. And I'm going to tell you, there were a couple of papers that I would not have purchased. But now that I saw them, I'm like, wow, how did I not get that? So let me move on. And we're going to start with this one since this is the one I have out. I have my little page holder here so I can remember what it is that I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to do this as quickly and non-clumsily as possible, but you know that's probably not going to happen. So we'll do the best we can. So we're going to start with Petal Promenade paper. Boy, if that isn't a alliteration tongue twister. So this is Petal Promenade. It's number 146913. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this was in the list of DSPs. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just pull the inks out real quick and show you the inks that coordinate. So you have Blushing Bride, Fresh Fig, Grapefruit Grove, Highland Heather, everybody's returning favorite here, Mossy Meadow. Oops, I'm always getting my Petal Pink and my Powder Pink mixed up. Petal Pink and Sahara Sand and Smoky Slate. And then also, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one. Tranquil Tide. And then you also have Very Vanilla Whisper White, and obviously you could use Basic Black. But just in case you guys missed this, I do keep all of these. They do put all of the inks that coordinate on the back. So one other thing, and I did do this in the videos as well, just for like an FYI. If you ever are having a hard time with picking like some colors, say you want to do something but you don't know what, just pull out your DSP packs and look. I mean, that's a super color combination that you probably would never think to put together. Oh, good to know. Thanks, Pat. The whole button does work on the iPad. Awesome. Thank you. So put these together like this. This would be a great card for a baby or just a really soft neutral card. But that's a really fun way to be able to put the color combinations together. That's a fun one that you might not think of using. So the back of the DSP is an awesome way to be able to see that. Okay, so let me move this over because I'm going to try not to make a holy mess. Good morning, Christina. Thanks for joining. I know I'm a little early, but I have a oil change appointment I have to get to, so that's why we had to switch it up a little bit. Okay, so here we're going to go, and I did this before the same way, and we're going to go sheet 1, okay? So again, Petal Promenade, this is sheet 1. So you have some roses, some carnations, and then the other side is like a marble countertop. Really pretty. Has a lot of veining in it, and these would be great together because they are like, this could be your background, and maybe if you wanted like a little piece. But then the same thing with this little strip here. So I just trimmed off a 4-inch piece off of the end. Okay, so this is just a 4-inch piece. It's just the opposite side, and then I have this little piece at the bottom here. So basically, you could make 2 cards if you wanted to do like 2 backgrounds, and then you could stamp a greeting onto it or sentiment. And a lot of people have been doing some stamping directly onto the DSP and then letting that be the background, like the color background. So you could use 2 of these. You could also take this one and trim it up, and you could put it on the inside of your card, kind of like I did with this one. Or you could just have these little strips of DSP. This is the DSP. This is actually stamping. But you could just take this and put it on the inside of your card just for like a little something, just to not waste that piece. Okay, so that is sheet 1. This is sheet 2, another very pretty one with the floral. It also has like some mini rosebuds in it, probably some camellias. I'm not super great with flowers, but they are really pretty. And then this one is more like a jagged bokeh background. So that's something in photography where they make everything in the background blurry, so it makes your thing that you're putting in the foreground stand out. So that's a really great card to have this as your background paper. And then you could put like a really pretty sentiment on there, or you could even trim out, like you could do a circle of the flowers and put that on, and then put your sentiment on the top of it. Okay, but anyway, this is sheet 2. Very pretty. Sheet 3 is another one. This just looks like it would be such a great place to fall into because it would be so pretty smelling and so soft. But I'm guessing these are probably, I don't know, is that camellias? Does anybody know? Anybody know what these flowers are? They're gorgeous. And I know they're very fragrant because I think my grandmother had some of these planted. But this one is really pretty as well. So you have your very pretty florals, and I'm trying to make sure I keep this centered so it fills up the sheet. And then this is kind of like a grainy gray background. Let me see if I did this the other day. When I did it, I had a little bit, there you go. So you can see the texture a little bit more. So it's a gray. All right, so that's sheet 3. Now sheet 4, this is one of my favorites because of the opposite side, but it's also a little confusing because of the way you have to cut it. So you have your 1 large frame and then 2 small. Okay, so I cut this into 3, but then you also have this little strip that is like a floral decorative strip. So you could use this piece for a scrapbook if you're a scrapper. So you have this, but I love the other side of this. It's like crinkled copper paper. It kind of also could be like a dirt background if you wanted to do something for a boy card or a guy card. Or like Canyon, Grand Canyon, something like that. This is so pretty in person, and I don't know if this is doing it justice or not, but it really is gorgeous. This purchase was good enough for me just for this side of the paper. It was really awesome. But you could use these little frames and put like a little sentiment on the inside. So you have 2 small ones. And then if you wanted to, this one is a little bit larger. And then again, you have your piece that you could use for your scrapbook, or you could use this side as well. Or you could like trim this in half and decorate your card with it, but that's pretty cool. So that's number 4. Then we have another that's kind of similar. So this is number 5 sheet, and this one has wreaths. So we have 2 wreaths without flowers, 2 wreaths with maybe these camellias. I don't know if we decided what they are yet. And then 2 wreaths that have roses. So again, there's a circle and a square on each. And then you also have the other side. You have this long line of flowers, or the other side is it's kind of like a scratched up, like a faux wall with gray. Really pretty. Super, super pretty. All right. So these would be great for scrapbooking, or if you have like your, the Memories and More pack, and say you wanted to put something in front of it, really, really cool to be able to use this. So this is sheet 5. And then say sheet 6, I'm fairly certain these are peonies, but I'm not 100%. So these are really pretty. Peonies. And then the other side again is that really beautiful marble background with like a lot of the veining in it. I'm sure a lot of people probably have these from in their countertops. Hi, thank you for joining from Australia. Woohoo! Thank you from down under. I always think of the men at work, but I'm not gonna make you listen to my singing. So this is the 6th side. So this is a really pretty background. But again, you could use these together. You could layer them together. You could put like a little strip of this onto the bottom of this one. Really, really pretty. And it's very, very vivid. All these colors are very pretty. All right. So that was Petal Promenade. Okay. All right. Again, so anybody new joining, you can enter to win all of these little samples, these little 4 by 5 1/4 that I have here. You have to leave your name. You do have to be in the U.S. because it probably cost me a fortune to ship these somewhere else. So I do apologize for that. U.S. only. But if you leave your name and a comment, I will do a drawing, and we will, not going to do it today, but I will do a drawing and I will send you all these papers. So this is number 2 pack. This is Broadway bound. Okay, so Broadway bound. This one has a little bit less that it goes with, and this is a specialty designer series paper because it has a lot of gold foil in it. Okay, so this one, let me see where I'm at here. This is number 146277, and it is $14. You do get 2 sheets of each, and some of these do vary. So a couple of these you'll get more sheets, a couple of them you'll get not less sheets, but they have more to them, so they're kind of a little bit more limited. But this one goes with gray granite, lovely lipstick, and then lemon lime twist, which you think are probably crazy, but once you see these, they are really, really cool. So let me move these off to the side. And if anyone has any questions, I will follow along, and I usually go back at the end and answer them as well. But if you have any questions, just shout them out. I'll be happy to help you out. So this is sheet 1. So you have all these cool birthday cards, or birthday candles, which I think is really neat. I like that little shiny effect. And I like the fact that some of them are filled in and then some of them are just outlines. But the cool side is love these little dots on the other side and the lovely lipstick. So they're dots, or depending on how you look at it, it's like that crazy dress that everybody sees in the different colors and whatnot. They could also be stars. So depending on your focus, you either have dots or stars. So this is a lovely one. This is number 1, sheet 1. Now sheet 2, again, has a diagonal fold, black and gold. This would be great too if you have a lot of anniversaries coming up. Nice paper. Or when we finally make it around to, not that I'm rushing it, to New Year's. But I love the other side of this with the balloons, the lemon lime and the lovely lipstick. So pretty, very pop. I like this one a lot. Now, this one is probably my favorite sheet. I do like the gold dots. They're very cool. However, oh my goodness, these party hats and like the little line of confetti, this is my absolute favorite. Love, love, love these. Hey, Ginger. It is hard to get an accurate impression. Absolutely. And they're so, so tiny. No problem. They're tiny. And, you know, a lot of people said they can't really appreciate it. So I figured, well, why not? You only live once. So here's your designer series paper. But this is cool. I love the lemon lime and the lovely lipstick together. Lemon lime twist. Very, very cool. So that's sheet number 3. Sheet number 4 is also super fun. You have the gold and the smoky slate and the black dots on a white background. But again, the other side, I pretty much think steals the show. I love the combination of these colors together. It's so hard to choose. I know, well, it's a good thing we have a sale going on. Buy 3, get 1 free. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit. But the cake and the cupcakes, all really fun for this one. So that is sheet 4. Then sheet 5, this will be a great sheet for Christmas. Like if you're trying to do a background, maybe on your scrapbook, or just something you can't settle on. This is really fun and festive, I think. And then the even better part is the lime green pops with the white. Really makes it super, super fun. And you could stamp your sentiment into one of these lines if you wanted to. This is another great way. If you guys remember a while back, we did the card with the spacing in it. All you got to do is trim off a piece. You don't even have to worry about measuring it out. So that's sheet 5. Hey, Melanie, thanks for joining. And then this one is a really good one you could use for birthday, anniversary. And the other side is super fun. I was saying on the other video that I did, this reminds me of my grandmother's. Did you guys, any of you guys have those strings of beads that they used to use to separate rooms? My grandmother had one. Now, they weren't white. They were like varying colors of green. And it was like a faux curtain. I remember those. So, so funny. So, that just cracks me up. Hey, Melba. I have some relatives in Michigan. They actually live in Muskegon. I'm hoping you're having finally some warm weather there. All right, so again, this was Broadway Bound designer series paper. Okay, I'm going to grab the next one, which is Tranquil Textures, and I'm going to make sure, just roll through, make sure I didn't, that's your favorite DSP. That one probably is my least favorite. I really do like the other sides, but the gold, more of a silver person, but yes, it is super retro. Grandmother, that was your time. I'm sorry, Donna. My grandmother was, maybe she was like really trendy for her time and she just bought it late. She probably made it, if we're being honest. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining. All right, so now we're going to do the Tranquil Textures DSP. And this one is another really great favorite of mine. I like this one a lot. This is number 146331. It is $11 US. All right, so this one has a lot that it goes with as well. This coordinates with Balmy Blue, Crumb Cake, Fresh Fig. And I mean, just like right there, that is a great color combination that you probably never would have thought to mix together, right? And then we also have Soft Sea Foam, which I love that one. Even those 3. That makes a really nice color combination. Tranquil Tide. And, 2 more. I also forgot Night of Navy and Mint Macaron. But, I mean, all those right there, that is a really great color scheme that you probably really wouldn't put together on your own. So, if you ever are stumped, just look to the back of your Designer Series paper pack and see what colors. Just get them out, put them together. I mean, look at that right there. That's beautiful. You can put this in between. That's a great color combination. Okay, so here we go on to page 1. So this is the first page. It's kind of a mottled background. It kind of, to me, reminds me of tire tracks. It's early there. I know. I have an appointment today to get my oil change, so I had to kind of squeeze you in. Plus, I'm glad you guys could join me instead of it not being Wednesday. I know we're going to Hershey Park, so have some fun in Hershey Park for the day, for the 4th of July. I've never been there on the 4th. We'll see how that goes. But these two pieces are very pretty. I love the washed look. This reminds me of the color that I wanted to paint my bedroom when I was growing up. However, we had wood paneling, so that wouldn't have worked out anyway. And then the other side definitely has some Night of Navy and some fresh fig. And again, it kind of reminds me of like a tire track. I like it a lot, though. This is a really pretty set for me. So that's sheet 1. Sheet 2, we have some Tranquil Tide and then some mint macaron in the background. But the other side of this is awesome with the crumb cake. I mean, those two pair together so well. So these are kind of, they have like the same look to the picture, if you can follow like the way the pattern is, but in completely different colors. So I really like that one. That's sheet 2. Love Hershey Park. Me too. I especially love the chocolate. That's my absolute favorite. Okay, so here we have a beautiful sheet. I really love this background sheet. This is Tranquil Tide, and then kind of like a more washed out Tranquil Tide. Could maybe be a little bit of a mint macaron, and then the bubbles in the background for the crumb cake. Super, super pretty. Love that one. That's sheet 3. Sheet 4 is kind of like a combo of like soft sea foam and mint macaron, and it definitely has a lot of like a textured look to it. Okay, and then you also have this, which reminds me of corn. It looks like they rolled corn on this, doesn't it? Like they rolled it in ink and then rolled it on the paper. It's just funny, but pretty cool at the same time. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. Thank you guys for all the shares. I really appreciate it. Hi, Sandy. This is my favorite sheet because it really gives you that like underwatery kind of look. I love this one. And this is the one I think I've used on my cards the most. And then you have that, again, soft background with the soft sea foam and then kind of a little bit of vanilla in there. You could use white with this as well. They did pair it more with vanilla, but you could use this with white. You could use it really with early espresso too. Definitely with Night of Navy as your background card. So that's sheet 5. And then last but not least, I really like this one. This one's super pretty. This is like a faux painting of the 90s. And then on the other side, you have these fun dots. So this is a great sheet of paper here. I love these dots, are my favorite. They're so cute. All the different colors. Kind of looks like you took pencil erasers and different varying ink levels, like dip it and then 2nd and 3rd and 4th generation stamping it. But I wonder how they come up with these papers. That would be a really cool to see that. All right, so that was sheet 6. So again, that was the Tranquil Textures Designer Series paper. And again, if any of these are going fast or you're having a hard time seeing, I am posting videos, full videos of each one to Facebook and to YouTube. They will post around 10 o'clock or so. So you can see all of these. You can watch them again. You can watch them in just maybe the specific paper that you were interested in seeing. So, oops, I put that one in the wrong one. I'm just going to put this away so I don't make a mess of myself. So I have those posting to both YouTube and Facebook. I did a little mini video on each one of them. And again, you can always go back and watch this because it doesn't go away. It'll stay on Facebook pretty much forever, I guess, until they decide they don't want Facebook anymore. But we'll see. Okay, so this is Nature's Poem, and I really love this one because it's very soft and beautiful, and it goes so, so lovely with the Nature's Poem suite. That whole, with the trees and everything and the dyes. So this is number 146338, and it is $11 US. And this one coordinates with, where did I have it? Blackberry Bliss, Cajun Craze, which these are some dark combinations, but I'm going to tell you, they go really well together, and these would make for great fall card colors. So if you're looking for something, I know everybody's in a heat wave. We are right now. Mint Macaron. If you're looking for something to cool off with, just think fall will be here eventually. Petal Pink, Rich Razzleberry, Soft Suede, and then Tranquil Tide. So all these go together. And again, just looking at the color pads, you can see there are a lot of ideas of things that you could use with these together. Move these over. Show you guys the paper. Thank you for the shares. Shipped a lot of t-shirts to Hershey Park. Oh, really? That's awesome, Ginger. Screen printing, so fun. Isn't it such a small world? No, that's Disney World. I'm just kidding. That's my, the beach in Disney World. They're like tied for my favorite places in the world. And they're also tied with stamping, so, you know. All right, so here we go. This is the the Nature's Poem Designer Series paper. So I really like this one. And I said this the other day when I did the video. You'll see all the crazy things that I said on there too. This reminds me as if you were taking x-rays of leaves, because I do CAT scans for my real life job. And when you do CAT scans, most of the time people go to x-ray school before they start. So this reminds me as if you took x-rays of leaves, which is super cool. And these kind of have very similar backgrounds. So it's kind of like a gauze, almost as if you stamped with gauze. How do you get into my drawing? You just did. All you have to do is leave a comment, and if you say shared with a D, I'll enter you twice. So, Stampin' Up demonstrator. Yeah, thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. So, they have the same background with the gauze, and then this one has a little bit more of like the x-ray leaves. And this one's really pretty. This is Grapefruit Grove, but you could probably also pull off some Calypso Coral with this as well. So, that's sheet 1. Hey, Veronica. This is sheet 2. It's got the vines and then that background to it, which is really cool. But I really like the second side. This reminds me of when I used to go to my grandmother's house in Oakland in Maryland, and they always had ferns. They had like, oh my God, ferns everywhere. And there were so many ferns in this one place my brother and I used to go visit. We always said it was like The Price is Right because they were all sitting the same direction. And it always looked like people sitting in seats. I know, I'm a dork. I can't help it. But I love this paper. Share, yes, and you do have to actually share the video. That's right. That would be super helpful, Donna. Well, you know what? You're on their honor system here, so you'll know in your heart if you shared or not. All right, so this one is kind of tied with the other one for my favorite paper in this because I love the translucent leaves and I love the stripes on the background of this paper with the fresh fig, and then it also has Grapefruit Grove in there. So that is sheet 3. But I really like sheet 4 too because of the colors. They're so pretty. So this is Mint Macaron, Grapefruit Grove, and probably Cajun Craze, and it's just stamped off. But this one, so pretty. It's like bamboo, but with a different color. I love this one. Love, love, love it. So pretty. Okay, so then we had, that was sheet 4. So now we have sheet 5. This is like, I said this the other day, it reminds me of like an aspen leaf, but I think they're yellow. So this is totally opposite, but still kind of reminds me of that. And I really love the background of this. So this is a great way if you're looking for something with a wood panel, because it does have like the little knots in it. So this is a super great way to get that without maybe having the folder if you don't have it, or the stamp, because we do also have a background stamp as well. So that's sheet 5. And last but not least, I really love this one too, because again, the x-rays are kind of, it's almost like they're vellum, like it's a vellum. It doesn't have a shine to it. It is a flat print, but it has the gauze background. But I really, really, really love the stripes. So my favorite. I love the stripes. They're so cool. So that was sheet 6. Okay, so again, that was the Nature's Poem Designer Series paper. Thank you all for the shares and the love. And I will tell you, I know that people that watch me do actually share my videos, because I know a lot of people that I've said, like, wow, people really do share your videos because they see them. And when you go back and look at the, I can't remember what it is, like the statistics of it, actually can see that people did share your videos. So I do appreciate the shares that you guys do. That really does mean a lot. It keeps me up there in the front where people can find me, which means you guys can find me easier as well. So I ordered this one a while back because I knew that we are having a Christmas in July blog hop this month. So I wanted to be able to use this paper specifically for that. So this is called Under the Mistletoe, and it's number 146921. All right, so this is a really fun one. There's a couple prints in here that like totally made me go Christmas nostalgic. You can watch the replay, Marty. Absolutely. It will be on here, but I also did some mini videos that I'll post later on YouTube and Facebook. So both of those are on Rachthestamper if you can't find them. Under the Mistletoe coordinates with, obviously you could use black, you could use white, but you can also use Early Espresso, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Real Red, Shaded Spruce, and personally, I think you could also probably do Garden Green, or Mossy Meadow, and even probably some Poppy Parade, because this and this are probably going to be like my new favorite Christmas combination. Super, super great combination for those two. So just in case, or even this, Mossy Meadow and Poppy Parade. Oh, you're welcome for showing the paper, Carmen. I try to do my very best, and if somebody asks for something, that I try to listen and follow through, and this time I actually did it, so I'm even so more proud of myself. All right, so under the mistletoe, this is sheet 1 with this nice square plaid. I love this. But the other side is too cool with these white reindeer. I'm saying they're reindeer. They're probably just deer. But so you have the buck and the doe, which is really, really fun. Share for selfish reasons. You can find them quick. Hey, whatever. You know, whatever works for you, Ginger. That's fine with me. So this is sheet 1. And here we have sheet 2. This kind of reminds me of something like my grandmother would have had with some Christmas decorations. You have your jingle bells and your pine cones. And then the other side is so cute with the dots. So this will be great if you wanted to make a Christmas card. You could use like part of this as your background, maybe a strip of this in there as well. Really, really fun. Great for also for scrapbooking sheets if you need like a nice background too. That was sheet 2. Sheet 3 also has a nice plaid, very masculine plaid, but very lovely. And then the other side has like a reverse print of the flowers. So everything is super white. I really like this because it definitely makes whatever you do on it pop. So you could have this all green background onto like a shaded spruce card and then put something, a big pop of red. And I can't wait to see what comes out in the holiday catalog. That should be coming out. I think the people that are going qualified for the Alaska cruise, which whoop, whoop, you guys have fun on that. They will get the holiday catalog, so I'm a little jealous of that, but I haven't qualified for that. Maybe next year. We'll see if I can get on something next year. But this is sheet 3. And this one, oh, you guys know I loved that awesome nostalgic stamp set we had last year that I cannot remember the name of right now. Whimsy, something like that. Anyway, it had these bulbs, these old-fashioned bulbs. Those are just truly, they'll always hold a special place in my heart. I love those. And then on this, you have, again, I know you guys I've done this before. You know those little 3 dots? See, just like 3 dots and a little scrolly thing. So the 3 dots thing is real. It's not just me. In 3s. Everybody loves that. But this is really pretty. Very bright, very fun. And then I love the holly berries and the mistletoe. Super cute. That's sheet 4. Sheet 5. I love this plaid. Plaid is like definitely my thing as well. I remember a couple years ago we had that sweater weather designer series paper. Do any of you guys remember that? I still have that and I haven't used it because I love it so much that I don't want to use it. Hey, Miss Pat, thanks for joining. So this is a really beautiful plaid. And then we have, depending on where you are, poinsettias or poinsettias. I don't know. You can, it's like tomato, right? So this is really pretty again in that like bright pop of white. But these would be great for scrapbook backgrounds. I love plaid. Love, love, love plaid. Hey, Janet, thanks for joining. That was sheet 5. And so last but not least, we have sheet 6. And this is like the total epitome of Christmas. You have your berries and your pine cones and all of your sprigs. Oh my gosh, I love this one. And the other side is just as fun. So you have some very neutral dots. You could easily add this to your scrapbook page as well if you're a scrapper. I know a lot of people are scrappers, and a lot of people, like myself, don't scrapbook, but I have so much designer series paper I could wallpaper my house in it instead of painting, but I should have done that, so then I could look at both sides. So this is sheet 6. So again, that was under the mistletoe, designer series paper. Good morning, Tammy. Passenger seat of the log truck. You go, girl. Thanks for keeping up with the logging out there. Tammy is out in Washington State, and also another of my downline, Rose, is in Washington State. I don't know if you guys live close to each other or not, but they're both out there in Washington State. Hold on, what did I do here? That one is that. Here's that. I'm sorry, I'm like mixing up my colors here. I'm trying to put them back in a slight semblance of order. Sorry, I had to stare at my arm there. So those are 2 of my downline. So actually, I'm going to tell you, I think only one person, two of my downline are in Maryland. Everybody else is mostly on the West Coast or in the middle of the United States. All right, so this is Twinkle Twinkle designer series paper. Let me find my number for this one. This is 146284, and it is $11 US. This kind of went with the baby set that they have in there, which I did get as well, the stamp set. But I really like this for the one of the pages in here. It was really cool. Yeah, the internet does bring us close. Absolutely. You're several hours apart. Okay, I got you. Oh, sorry, Minnesota. I'm sorry to hear that, Mary. We're kind of in a middle of a heat wave here, so I feel you from the opposite direction. It's been like 108 feeling for the past, now it's day 4, so super fun. Not. Okay, so Twinkle Twinkle goes with Gray Granite, Night of Navy, Pool Party. I always get in my petal. I'm going to move this one over. Petal Pink. And just in case you didn't notice, they do put these in alphabetical order. Soft Sea Foam and Whisper White. So if, in case you're ever looking for something here, they have everything here on these with the colors that it coordinates with. They are in alphabetical order. So if you wanted to alphabetize your ink pads, that would be very easy for you to match them up. But look how pretty that color combination is. Make a great card. Or even a little blue. Oh, I love all these. I think you probably could also add some balmy blue into this. You could probably do powder pink. You could probably do blushing bride or flirty flamingo. All right, so this is sheet 1. It's just kind of like a gray dotted background. Bring that up closer for you. So you have a gray dotted background and then these awesome little stars. And those are on the soft sea foam with the white stars. Make sure you guys can see that. Really pretty. So that's sheet 1. This is my favorite sheet. I was thought I had it opposite, but this is the favorite sheet of mine in the paper, the Galaxy, which just looks like that just gas that's out in the galaxy. If you've ever watched any like Nova or anything like that. Oh, I love that show. So you have your real galaxy and then your little dotted stars, and that's on the gray granite. This is beautiful. I love this. Absolutely love this sheet of paper. This one is going to break my heart when I have to send it to somebody, but because I love you, I'll send it anyway. That's sheet 2. Sheet 3 is super fun as well. I really do love these stripes. They're really fun. Fun color combination. This will be great, again, to add like a little strip to the bottom of your card. This is Twinkle Twinkle, Janet. Twinkle Twinkle DSP. So this has the stripes and then these little dots. So you have white on petal pink. Okay, that's sheet 3. Sheet 4, I have to speed this up a little bit. Sheet 4 is the petal pink background with the stars. Okay, and then the other side is pretty much every color that they have out in a dot or a star, which is really cool. I really like this one. Super fun. Okay, on this one we have this lovely stripe, same as like the first one, okay, but that's Night of Navy. And then the other side is really fun, the repeating little tiny star pattern. See that there? Really cute. And these will go great together for background pages as well. All right, and number 6, this one is the one I loved as well. Just the little constellations. Oh my gosh, doesn't that remind you? If anyone has a kid, this is like the paper that they must have. I love this. Reminds me of babies. Babies and their little baby head smell. And then we have the multicolored dots again. Really pretty. Okay. So that was sheet 6. So once again, that was the Twinkle Twinkle DSP. Alrighty. And now we have Animal Expedition. You know, I think when I timed my time, I wasn't planning on pulling out the inks. But since we're here, it'll be a little bit easier just to see what matches with it. All right, so this is the Animal Expedition Designer Series paper, number 146902, and also is $11 US. So this one goes with Basic Black, Basic Gray, Whisper White. Honestly, you probably could pull some Very Vanilla in there as well. But it also goes with Berry Burst, Call Me Clover, Calypso Coral, Crumb Cake, oh, where is she? Crushed Curry, Lemon Lime Twist. This one goes with a lot. Melon Mambo, Pool Party. Let's see if I can make this without making a mess. Poppy Parade, and Shaded Spruce. So all these go together, okay? Move these to the side. All right, and this is a really fun one, especially if you have little kids that you make cards for. So we have our little alligators or crocodiles, whichever you'd like to call them, with the birds on their nose. But this one also has super fun, like, opposite sides. So you have your crocodiles and then like a batik. This kind of reminds me of something you would see at Animal Kingdom at Disney World. Really fun. So that's sheet 1. Sheet 2, these are just too cute entirely with the hippos, with the butterflies on their noses. That would be a great card. And then the other side of this is kind of fun because it could almost go as a background for like hippo skin, but you have those little tiny triangles and the dashes. Super cute, super fun. Oh, thanks for joining, Linda. Make sure you leave a comment. Shared will get you a second entry in the drawing to win the Designer Series paper. So we have some little birdies and leaves on this one. And then a really fun background. This would be a great background for a birthday card. So if you use this with your happy birthday Thinlit die, you could just put it across the front in like white or black. This will make a great card. And then you could even add like a little bit of the birds at the bottom. Super fun. That's sheet 3. Sheet 4, we have some frogs. Kermit the Frog, not necessarily, but some frogs making some funny eye faces, which are hilarious. And then a chevron pattern. So I really like that one. Those colors go great together. Look at them making eyes at each other. Isn't that so cute? That's sheet 4. All right, this one, there's 2 different of this. So this one is a little tinier. So this one, we also have the sloth and we have the hippo, but this is a great Designer Series paper background if you're making a card, if you're making someone a scrapbook to give them as a gift. This would be a great set, this in the Twinkle Twinkle, and then they could put their own pictures in. Has anybody ever done that? That would sound like such a fun idea. If somebody like made you a scrapbook and then all you had to do is add the pictures, that would be great. But this one also has a really pretty background with the Calypso coral. Okay, so that's sheet 5. Now sheet 6 is pretty neat because you can also use your Thinlits to cut these out. You can cut out the rhino. Now they are directional. So there's a kangaroo. I'm pretty sure the kangaroo faces that way. The giraffe definitely faces to the left. But you could cut out your rhino with your Thinlit. So you could use this double duty. If you didn't feel like stamping them, you could just cut these out and like add embellishments to your scrapbook page as well. And then I love the other side of this, the giraffe print. How cool is that? So fun. Okay, so that was sheet 6. So again, that was the Animal Expedition Designer Series paper. All right, let me pop all these in here real quick. I can do it without making a mess. We'll say one thing. Since I've redone my stamp room, who am I kidding? I don't scrap. Since I've redone my stamp room, I've done a much better job of keeping everything organized. I'm very proud of myself. So I've been trying to put everything back when I'm finished using it. Okay, so this is the best route, or best route, depending on where you're from, what you want to say, Designer Series paper. And this one is number 146897. Again, it's $11 US. So this goes with, obviously, Whisper White and Basic Black. But also, the pops of color are Blueberry Bushel. I kind of think, yeah, Pineapple Punch. I thought that was on the list. I thought I was missing something. Pineapple Punch, Mango Melody, Gray Granite. You probably could also use Smoky Slate or Basic Gray if we're being honest. So those are the colors that it goes with. Okay. And this one is definitely would be a great one too if you had more of some masculine cards you wanted to do, or some cards for kids, like say if you're going on a road trip and you wanted to make them like a little book, they could use some of these things to decorate where they were. They could maybe like make some pinpoints and put them onto the map parts that I'll show you in a minute. But this would be fun for like not using just necessarily for cards. So you have your little arrows, your little directional arrows, and this is, again, very neutral. So there's not really anything in here that you can't find a side to use. So you have your very colorful arrows and then a grid, a gray grid. Okay, that's sheet 1. Sheet 2, this is kind of the one where if you wanted to, you could trim out these little guys and you could put like, we were here, and maybe they could write where they were next to it. But the coolest side of this other side is the blueprint. Hey, Judy, thanks for joining. Love the blueprint of this. Sheet 2. And if you're joining late, you can watch these. It'll be on the replay, and you can also catch them later on YouTube or Facebook. We're going somewhere with the airplanes here. Get it? I know I can't request. I'm just corny. I can't help it. And then we have gray. Like instead of the blueprint, we have a gray print. So that's sheet 3. And sheet 4, this one's really fun because you do have these crazy diagonal stripes. But the flip side, the bicycles, how cool are they? I'm sure all my friends in Amsterdam would love that one because they bike everywhere. Okay, so these two are very similar, except essentially they're kind of more like, this one is more like highway interchange and maybe this one is more like neighborhoody. But they're very similar in pattern. So if these two kind of look similar, they are pretty similar. So this first one here, You have a little bit closer of a neighborhood, and then you have the little blue dots, which I said this also on the other video. If you guys, do you guys ever play the game where you connect the lines and you write your name and your initial in there? So if you got really bored on your trip, you could do that to pass the time. And then the other one we have is, again, a bigger background. So it's kind of got more like the highway interchanges. And then you have like this repeating, kind of like a diamond or triangle. It's really cute though. I like that. All right, that was sheet 6. Okay, so again, that was the best route, best route, whatever way you want to take it. All right, so now we have, let me put this one here and yellow. Now we have, now this one is a little different. This one is, where am I here? This one is, can't find it, the Tea Room. Yes, Specialty Designer Series paper. Now I'm going to just explain this one a little farther. This is 146894. This is $14. This is kind of, if you guys remember a few years back when we had the paper that was super flimsy, and it was like a print paper. It was like newsprint, old print. It had like rocking chairs and old-time advertisements on it. That is the weight of this paper. It is really super thin. It's very, very thin. So this one you actually get 4 sheets of each. Okay, so you get 4 sheets of each paper. So you do get more paper. If I'm not mistaken, let me make sure. Yeah, 24 sheets, which you don't usually get that. You usually get 12 sheets because you get 2 sheets each. So you get 4 sheets each of this. And again, this is Tea Room. Okay, so this goes with Coastal Cabana. Look, I'm pulling out the wrong one. Calypso Coral. You think I would know Coastal Cabana by heart since it's my favorite. Coastal Cabana. Crushed Curry. Old Olive. Rich Razzleberry. And then they say Very Vanilla. You probably could do Whisper White if you wanted to. Just kind of depends on what you do. You definitely do Basic Black. And Navy would also be a nice option as well. So again, this is very thin paper. Really, really thin. It's probably a slight bit heavier than printer paper, but not much. So you have these really pretty flowers on this one. This one does have a lot of, this isn't one that I would have ordered because I'm not, like I said, real florally. I'm more like nautical and kind of neutral stuff, but I love the backgrounds of these, and there's a couple papers where it is just gorgeous. I love the stripes. So you have the flowers and the stripes on sheet 1, and then the butterflies in the background. It does have a lot of depth, has a lot of layers to everything. And here we have a rose pattern with some butterflies, which is really pretty. But this side, oh my gosh, why did I never think of this color combo before? Look at this. Coastal Cabana and Crushed Curry. Make yourself a card with that because look how pretty that is. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it. And I love these little diamonds here with the flowers. Sheet 2. Sheet 3 kind of does the same thing. So we have these kind of like carnation-y backgrounds. But look at the other side. Oh my gosh, with the Very Vanilla. How pretty is that paper? I love the second side of this. This yellow and blue combo. I need to make a note of it because what I'm going to do is end up putting all this stuff away and forgetting. But I need to make myself a card with Coastal Cabana and Crushed Curry because it is like such a great, they just both make each other pop so much. And this kind of reminds me of that wildflower paper we had last year for Celebration. If you guys remember that. But it has a little bit of berries and whatnot thrown in. It's really cute. And then the other side is Calypso Coral with the like fleur-de-lis almost in there. It's really pretty. This is the Tea Room paper, Donna. Tea Room Designer. This is specialty paper, so you get 4 sheets of each. And this one I love because who doesn't love bees? Not when they're stinging you, obviously, but who doesn't love bees? If you love flowers, you love bees. But isn't this the cutest old-timey with these little spoons? Oh my gosh, that totally reminds me of the 50s. Love that. My granny would have loved that one too. So that is sheet 5. And then we're down to sheet 6. This one's a really lovely one as well with the butterflies and the outline flowers. But I love the background on this too. With the cream and the Calypso Coral. That's another great color too. So if you're doing like Very Vanilla and Calypso Coral, that'd be a really pretty color combination as well. Okay, so again, that was the Tea Room Designer Series paper. And again, you do get more with that one. So you get 4 sheets of each. All right, we're coming into the home stretch. Let me get these put away and we'll get out the, this is the Share What You Love Designer Series paper. I ordered this one first. This one is really nice because it has a lot of flash to it for paper, really considering. Okay, so we have Share What You Love. This is the specialty designer series paper as well. This is 146926. This is $27, but you do, again, get 4 sheets of each. And this is definitely, you can tell, this is heavy. Really heavy cardstock. You could make a card out of this. That's how heavy this is. It's probably not quite as heavy as our base colored cardstock, but it is very, very, very thick. Okay, so love the floral. I know the flip side of the tea room is even better than me for the floral. It's so pretty. So we have kind of like these leaves in the background. This is gorgeous. I love this. Oh, guess what I forgot? Forgot the ink. Hold on one second. So basic black, whisper white is what they're saying. But then we also have, I knew it was too clean over here, Blackberry Bliss, Crumb Cake, Grapefruit Grove, Mint Macaron, where is it, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, a lot of greens, Pear Pizzazz, Petal Pink, Rich Razzleberry, So Saffron, and Tranquil Tide. So those are all the colors that coordinate with this paper, and I'm sure you could use many other ones as well, but those are great colors. Once again, you know, if you're trying to find an idea, just put some of your colors together. Super color combination there. Screenshot that. You're going to like it. And move these out of the way and we'll continue. Okay, so here we go. This is the Share What You Love designer series paper. So we have our leaves in the background. And then on the other side, you have these flowers, which are really pretty, but they have like that iridescent sheen to them. I love this paper for that. It is really cool. So much you could do with these. So much. I've made so many cards out of these already. So that's sheet 1. All right, sheet 2 is the vines. This is like Mint Macaron with Tranquil Tide. I think they did this on one other paper too, and it really does work together. There's a nice color combination. And then the other side, you have these little flowers. I don't even know what they are, but they are so neat looking with that overlay. Really pretty. So that's sheet 2. And sheet 3, this one's fun. I like this one. This is great for birthdays with the polka dots. Hi, Patricia. Thanks for joining. And then the other side, we have little tiny flowers with the iridescent. Okay, that's sheet 3. This one I've used a whole lot. The next two, I should say, with the wildflowers in the background. And the reason I like this too is because it's so easy to pair with the other side with the stripes. Really, really pretty. Love those two together. Okay, sheet 5. Oh, that's sheet 4. Sorry, sheet 4. These two are the ones I've used a lot. The big, bold background. Very, very pretty. I love this one. But I really love the other side. It has all these different names of flowers, which are probably on here somewhere. I just don't know which ones they were. Okay, Marty, just catch back up. It'll come back on later. You can watch it at the top of the screen, okay? Thanks for joining. You have some beautiful pink background with the black. You could use this probably too with Night of Navy background or even with Early Espresso. I bet it would back up really well to that. And Tranquil Tide too. That'll be really cool. Zinnias. There you go. Thank you. Tammy, you must know everything about flowers out there. That was sheet 5. And then this is the last. This is sheet 6. And again, it's got that nice iridescent color to it. I love that overlay. It's so pretty. And the fact that they have this like really busy with like this kind of calm neutral. I really love these two. They are so pretty together. Hey, Terry from Colorado. Thanks for joining. All right. So that was sheet 6. So again, that was the Share What You Love designer series paper. All right, so now we're going to move on to the stacks, and there's only a couple of those. I did not get the in colors because I think the in colors are pretty self-explanatory in being able to see them and kind of figure out what they were. Plus, I had to kind of limit myself at some point of what I was and wasn't purchasing. All right, so put this here. Almost done. Hang in there. Pink background. All right, so we're going to start off with what did I have? I have a white sheet because I want to show you guys this. This was the Graceful Glass. And I'm going to say full disclosure, I got this at convention, which if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, anybody can go to convention. You do have to either redeem flex points or pay to go, but it's awesome. You get to see stuff first and play with it, and they tell you all the new things that are coming out, and you can purchase stuff before everybody, and then they do crafts while you're there, and then at the end of the day, everybody kind of gets to divvy up what they have. So I figured I probably would never buy this paper. It's very pretty, but it's a lot of coloring, and I really wasn't like in love with it, so I thought, well, I'll take it with me so I could show it to people. So I didn't buy this one, but I will send out some sheets of this as well. So this is vellum, and one side, as you can see, is shiny. The black is very shiny, and then the other side is dull. So you could use your Stampin' Blends to color each side. You could color the front side if you want it to be bright. You could color the back side and then flip it over if you wanted it to be a little bit dull. Just woke up and there you are. Oh, thanks, Diane. I'm glad I made you happy. So you can color with your watercolor pencils. You could color with your markers. You could probably even color with your regular Stampin' Write markers as well. But this one is very pretty. Again, there are 2 sheets of each in this, okay? And this is the Graceful Glass. It's number 146344. So you have your butterflies. You have a geometric, like an 80s pattern. This would be cool with brights. Yeah, not really my favorite either, Cindy. I agree with you. You have medallions, and you could cut these out on smaller cards if you want to do like note cards to put into a birthday card. Really simple. You could color the top and pop it on a white panel. We have like I don't really know what you call this, but it reminds me of something in like the mid-century. They used to put on glass to make it like ornate. You love this film. Oh, look at you. See, and that's what makes everybody happy. Everybody likes something different. Thank you, Lisa. Same to you. So we have this really pretty florally, you could color the background in. You could also do the same thing and trim this out. You could make like 4 cards with this one. This reminds me of pencils with erasers. I don't know if it does that to anybody else, but I see the pencil and like a stacked eraser here. I know it's probably more like a chevron pattern or something or other, or an arrow maybe, but it reminds me of pencils. For stained glass, absolutely. This is my favorite sheet. I love these. The flowers are all so pretty. That's not my favorite. This is my second favorite. I'll show you my favorite in a second. Then you have this one where what you could do is you could just trim off these strips. You could get 7 strips and use this as like a little added detail. Would be a good idea. This is my favorite. The birds. I did a card with this one already. I love this one. So pretty. And then this one reminds me of in Baltimore City, in Highlandtown specifically, they have a lot of transom windows, which are the fold-out windows, and they're colored stained glass. This reminds me of those. These would make a gorgeous card for that. They're so cool, so cool. And you could get 2 because you could trim it and then just use it for 2 different ones. Really fun. And then Cindy Clark, I don't know if she's still on here, but I think she did a card with this, making this into the American flag. So if you need a really, really, really last-minute 4th of July card, you could do this and add a little square with the blue at the top with the, you see arrows. Hey, I you know, it's like one of those optical illusions. So this is like a wave you could do, or flag. Very pretty. All right, so that again was the Graceful Vellum. All right, now we're going to be on to the, let me move this out of the way, the wood textures. As you can see, I have a lot of this because I'm already on my second pack because I love this. Love, love, love this paper. Okay, so the wood textures is number 144177. This actually carried over from last year, so some of you may recognize this, so I'm not going to go into terrific detail with this, but you do get 4 sheets of each with this, and a lot of these do have a very similar pattern on the background, but you have like your old wood. That's kind of the same on that side. You have more of a kind of like a medium wood color, and then the other one is a lighter. This reminds me of the beach. I like this. It's kind of like a whitewashed-ish look, faded out. Same on the other side, just this one has a little bit more details. Oh, that's okay, Vicky. That's the beauty about this. You can watch it whenever you want. This one is a very abused-looking wood. Same on this side. I know I love this paper. This one is a little bit more of a beat up. It's got a little bit of a detail to it with the notching and everything. And then very similar on the other side. These paper holders are from Amazon. They're called Jam, J-A-M paper holders. They are like 8.5 by 11, I think. maybe a little bit bigger than that, 9 by 11.5. And this is more of like a beech wood. And I like the second side even better with that like beat up. Really pretty. Oh yeah, most definitely. This would definitely go very well with the Nature's Poem, with the whole wood scheme. Theme, not scheme. Same side, same colors on this one. I really like this one a lot because it reminds me of like old floorboards you might find in a really old house. I like this side better because it's a little brighter. This one's a little darker. Again, this one's just kind of like an abused piece of wood, maybe some reclaimed farm wood. And then we have this one. It's kind of like a goldeny wood color, light. Again, one more dark one, and this is going to be my favorite sheet coming up. No, it's not a Ziploc bag. It's actually pretty heavy duty. It has a zip at the top of it, though. Now, this is my favorite, and it's only because I never know which side is my favorite. I love those. But, oops, this one reminds me of my grandfather because he is a carpenter. I love this. I can just smell what that wood smells like just looking at the picture. It's my favorite sheet all time. So you do get 4 sheets of each, which is a good thing. Since, you probably will have a favorite of what you want to use. So again, that was the Wood Textures Designer Series paper. Alrighty, and now we have, I will say, I was almost going to save my favorite for last, which is the Tropical Escape, because this is really my favorite paper. This is 146916, and this is definitely in the buy 3 get 1 free. Okay, and this one would coordinate with definitely, obviously, black and white, but also coordinates with Blushing Bride and Granny Apple Green, and they say Shaded Spruce. But quite honestly, I think you probably could pop some Pool Party in there, maybe even a little Coastal Cabana, and probably even like some Lovely Lipstick or some Flirty Flamingo. I think they would go really well in there as well. So this one, you kind of have 2 different things with the Tropical Escape. Again, you do get 4 sheets of each, and one side's definitely more green, and one side's more pink. Okay, but these are really, really, really pretty as well. So you have your like a whited out leaf with the dots. And then I'm going to flip to the second side. And then you have your really fun Golden Girls sheet. I love this. So cool. And you have your little palm fronds with the black and white. This really goes together, I think, really nicely. And then the pink on the other side, which this does mimic one of the stamps that's in the stamp set that coordinates with this, which is kind of where I got this idea from. So that's actually stamped, but it looks very similar to that, doesn't it? So that's pretty cool. So you can, if you don't have the time to stamp it, you just cut out a little strip of DSP and stick it on there. This one reminds me more of bamboo. And then you have the fun background on the other side. The black dots, I use this as a background piece for that other card, the touch card that I'm going to show you to put together. In case anybody missed it too, I did show you how to go over and do that touch screen thing that I put up on my page. So if you go back to the beginning, you'll see that one. And then the stripes. So fun. I love these palm leaves. We have a kind of a tree sort of like this in our backyard. It usually stays in the house, but since it's hot out, I put them outside. And then the hibiscus. And your palm leaves again. Hibiscus and the big leaves. I love this sheet. Super Golden Girls. All right. This one is kind of like a round tubey background. Wipe those dots off your screen. Yep, they're not there. And then the pink dots in the background. And I really like this one too. These black pops that they put in here are really fun for being able to just like add a little bit of something to it. And then you have your leaves on the other side. Black and white. Black and white and pink and green do go really well together. And then your pink chevron. And this one is really fun as well. And your black and white chevron. It's like a zebra if you need a zebra card. And then green. Again, this is a green and white. And this is a really soft background. This kind of reminds me of like water pouring, like a beach. You know how sometimes it'll get those little tide pools? And then last sheet, really pretty green. And then the flip side is very colorful. So again, that was the Tropical Escape Designer Series paper. And we are coming to our very last one, the Garden Impressions. This is one I never, ever, ever would have ordered. But I gotta tell you, it has some super, super cool color combinations, okay? So this is Garden Impressions. This is 146289. It's $11. You get 4 sheets of each, okay? So you have like a really bright, some of these are like 80s, crazy, and then the other side is very soft on some of them, not on all of them. So this is very crazy. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Let me just do the colors real quick, because I was thinking that looks like Mango Melody. And now that I've done these videos a little bit more, I've definitely become a little bit more familiar with some of the colors that go with this. So you do have Calypso Coral. I know Mango Melody's in there as well. Mango Melody, Melon Mambo, Night of Navy, Pacific Point, Petal Pink, colored up my list there, Soft Seafoam, Shaded Spruce, and then it says you could do it with Whisper White. Oh, one more, sorry. So Saffron. You could do it with Whisper White. I think you could do it with vanilla on some of these. Like even this one here, you could probably pull vanilla off if you wanted to, and Basic Black. So, guys would come with sets cut the leaf. You know, you probably could. I haven't done that yet. You're talking about the Tropical Escape paper. You probably could for a couple of them, but some of them, the sizes are just a little bit off. This one you probably could cut that one. And the other one that has the big leaf on it, I'm sorry, I want to catch your question. You probably could do this one, but some of them, the sizing aren't exactly fit to it. So I would probably have to test that out and let you know, Mary, but I can try to get back to you on that one. All right, so these are all the colors. And again, this is for Garden Impression. Sorry, we had that little flashback there. Okay, so this is super bright. And then the other side is kind of like the soft roses, which is very pretty. This would be great for a background as well. Make sure I put these right. I really like this one. There's just something about some of these with the yellows and the blues that they have in here. You probably could use Blueberry Bushel on this as well. Good morning, Suzanne. And then like a little fun, funky background. This one I really, really like. The colors are so pretty on this. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, because I posted those ahead of time. What are you getting off of here for, Kathy? You're supposed to watch this video to the very end. They should all be posting soon. Okay, and then this is kind of more like a Monet background. Very soft. And then we have these really pretty flowers. And the other side is like a crazy background. This would be really cool for a birthday background. Or if you wanted to even cut something out of it, like say happy birthday and it would have this print on it, that would be really cool. And we have roses. Very pretty. Hey, Lori. And then a really pretty soft pink background. Lovely here. Really, really nice. Very soft. And I love the back of this, the Calypso Coral, really pretty. Remind me of great grandma's house. I know, right? The floral wallpaper, it's so true, isn't it? And I love this one because of the colors and then the white background. It's really, really very pretty. And then this is like a soft yellow, very washed out, but this would be great for a background as well, for your cards. This one's lovely. Little roses and all the different color sections. And the blue, I love this. Like a bad paint job, but not on a card. All right, these are really pretty. I love how they have all these little tiny flowers and stems. And then the same on the other side, but it's kind of soft. So this kind of goes back to this. These two could pair well together if you're trying to make like a combination. Actually, all three of them. And then one more with the bright roses and very soft. This is like a soft 80s background before we got neon crazy. This one. It's like little daffodils, even though I know it's on stems, but doesn't it remind you of that? They're so pretty. The yellow and blue are gorgeous. And then I love the other side of this one. But I think this one is one of my favorite sheets. It's just so pretty. Looks like watercolor painting. Really, really pretty. And then the background is really nice as well. So you could always add a little piece of this to the other side. It'd be super cute. Okay, so that is it. We made it through all of the Designer Series papers. I'm looking to make sure I didn't miss anything. And I don't believe that I did. So, if you are just jumping in here, make sure you leave a comment. And if you leave shared with a D, I will add a second entry for you to be entered to win all of the sheets of Designer Series paper. So the 4 by 5 1/4 sheets, I did not trim up the stack, so I can't guarantee that I'm going to add those in, but you will get all of the other ones. All you have to do is leave a comment. You don't have to purchase. But again, we do have the Designer Series paper sale, and that is going on. Oh, goodness gracious. What did I do to my catalog? I got everything all bent crazy here. We do have the Designer Series paper sale. Let me just go back. I'm going to tell you that is pinned on the top. And yeah, creating tips with them, exactly. That's pinned to the top of the page, all the papers that are on sale. There we go there. So these are all the papers that are on sale. Nature's Poem, Twinkle Twinkle, Under the Mistletoe, Animal Expedition, Best Route, Preddle Promenade, Tranquil Textures, Garden Impressions, Tropical Escape, and Wood Textures. They're all buy 3, get 1 free. We do still have the promo going on with the ink pads. That's good through July 31st. And if you make a $50 purchase in my online store, in addition to receiving a free PDF and a nice thank you card, I do send those to everyone that places an order. For the month of July, I'm going to send whoever orders a package of the basic brads. Okay? So you'll get those as well as a little bonus. Make sure that if you do shop, if you have an order under $150, that you use the hostess code that's pinned to the top. It's the July hostess code. It is in the top comments of the video here and in the description of the video as well. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will be back next Wednesday with some sort of a creation. I don't really know exactly what, but we'll figure something out. And I have a couple other things I wanted to share and show you. I'm going to save those for next week. I did finally get my Big Shot embossing mat platform, and I also got the Subtle Dynamic Textured Impressions embossing folder. So just in case you guys missed this, because I really was going to order it in the beginning, but it does so many really cool things. I just want to see if I can find you this real quick and show you. Where is it back here? Because it kind of doesn't look like anything. When you look at the folder, you're like, well, that looks like nothing. Look at this here. See that? Kind of looks like nothing. You're like, well, it looks like they ran that through and did nothing. This picture does no justice for this. It can make a blue piece look like denim, and it has the coolest, oh my gosh. You remember if we had, a couple years back, we had that coordinations paper that when it had like just the teeniest little edge to it and it made it look so soft? That's what this does. So I can't wait to share this with you guys. And I'm going to also try to work on using my tropical thinlits with the embossing mats to put some of these in the background. So instead of